Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you're lending your ear, today is another daily dose of Psalm and Proverbs, and today is number 13 for both. Excuse me. All right. As I mentioned before, I am reading out of my parallel Bible of King James and New King James, and I'm not saying any Bible is the right one. I'm not saying mine is the right one because, as you know, there's billions, over exaggeration, of other Bibles. But what we can do is take the good for them and apply them, in our lives, whether you believe or you don't, or you question, whatever your situation is, right? I just want to, bring awareness. And even if not that, you could still take the good, because there's nothing wrong of doing good. I mean, because it's goodness. So, all right, let's dive deep into this. So, Psalm 13, trust in the salvation of the Lord. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord? Forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy, my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. Which is very true for all of us, regardless of your background and what you believe. Very true. His love and mercy, because I know right now too, especially these trying times for many people, a lot of got some thunder over here, lightning. It's gonna pour rain here. um, but yes, as you know, with everything going on, I mean, I know people have loved ones who are sick because of what's going around, the pandemic, or the racism, the violence, and the police shootings, and just a lot of hatred, right? Um, I know a lot of people wonder, where are you, Lord? How come this is happening to me? And I know with everything going on, whether if it's to you or a loved one, know that our Lord, of course, doesn't want that to happen to you. But there's a reason for it, there's a reason behind everything that occurs. Whether we realize it now or, minutes or years from now. And it's very true. Um, know that he hears your cries. He hears your pain. He knows your pain. He knows everything about you. And he's there for you. Even with everything going on, he is there for you. And of course, he doesn't want bad things happening to you. He does not. And the enemy tries to trick you to think that, this is our Lord's doing. I'm sure, I can't say 100% because obviously I'm not our Lord, but I do know the enemy tries to deceive us and, try to make us think the Lord doesn't care about us, doesn't love us, doesn't hear us, and that's when a lot of, doubt and questions and things like that can happen. And I'm guilty of that, especially, um, I'm not going to get into it, but, there's a certain common thing throughout my life, and I'm not going to get into it, but I do, I cry out to our Lord about it, and just wonder. I know nothing's more important than our Lord, of course, because without him, we're nothing, literally, and he is the source of our strength, the source of life, the source of light, all that is good, and so I have to remind myself when I start complaining about things, whether it's like finances, or I want this, or I wish I was living here, or look at everybody having fun, or you know, whatever. I have to remind myself where I've been, what I've gone through, and where I am now, because I haven't done it alone, even through all the wildness, crying out pretty much 24/7, to our Lord, like, please, I know you hear me, but this is how I'm feeling, and just take it. It's a lot to shoulder. Stress, and He hears you. He hears your cries. He knows your pain. You're not alone. And of course, it doesn't make Him happy. Of course, why would He want to see us suffer? So know that our Lord is here, and I know people have different backgrounds and beliefs and questions and doubts. Yes, I know, but I'm just even as I said before, take the message from the Psalm and the Proverbs. If you do lend your ear, and if you do listen, and you have an open mind about things, listen to the good and what you could take from it, regardless of where you're coming from. You could take the good from it. And with this, just know, even if you don't believe and you doubt or you question, just know that regardless, you are not alone, and you are always loved, and you could take solace in that, even though physically it may not seem like that right now in the physical, but spiritually, you are not alone. All right, and that might sound weird, but it is true. But that was Psalm 13, and of course that was my interpretation of it, and many might have their own interpretation, but that's what I'm taking from it, you know. But here we go to Proverbs 13. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth his chasteneth him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. Mmm. Proverbs 13. It is, I don't know how do you say what I'm taking from it besides, it is a lesson. Um, it's definitely a lot of the Proverbs, there's, as you know, they sound very similar to me. They definitely do sound similar, but they're definitely separate lessons, but they all link up together. They all connect, and with Proverbs 13, from what I'm taking from it, it definitely has to do a lot with, as the common thing really is, you know, those who do good and those who do wicked, those who, want to live right and those who want to, deceive others and take advantage of, and the common thing here is that, the way of the good in our Lord will bear fruit and of life, but the way of those who deceive and want to take advantage and are wicked, that is the way of no life and no fruit. Um, and there's really no other way to explain it. I mean, when you think about it, it's like when you see someone in pain, wouldn't you want to help them? Whether it's physical or you're crying because, they lost a loved one, wouldn't you want to help them? You know, because that's a good thing. But there's those, of course, as you know, who see others' pain and they take great joy in it. They take great joy in seeing others suffer. And obviously that's not good. Why would you enjoy seeing someone else suffer? You wouldn't want to suffer, or your loved one. So why would you take joy in seeing someone else suffer? It's not cool. It's not fair. It's not right. And you don't have to take my word for it, obviously. I just pray that our Lord can use me, to like a messenger, and I pray I'm doing a good thing, and I'm not just doing it just to do it, but there are a lot of lessons you can learn just from the Psalms and Proverbs alone, and I pray that whoever lends their ear and has an open mind, they can hear the message and the good behind it and the lessons to be learned, and the consequences of doing what is wrong, and I pray our Lord can use me in this way, and I hope it is good, but as you know, Psalm 13, our Lord is our source of strength and our life and light. And Proverbs 13, they all link up though. All the Proverbs, separate lessons, but they all connect. The path of the good and the path of the wicked, the consequences for both, and what road they lead you to, and it's nothing complicated. Honestly, it isn't. I mean, I honestly feel like a broken record when it comes to the Proverbs. Definitely the Proverbs, because they all sound the same. They sound similar, but they all have different lessons, but they're connected. So I hope that you could learn from them. And for me, going over these, it's a reminder of what I have done, and if I fall into temptation or I fall into the old ways I used to live, the lifestyle I was living before, I'm reading, reminds me of, hey, as a warning, hey, if you're doing this, this is what you'll get as a reward. But if you do this, this is your reward, and it's a reminder to me, and prayerfully it's a reminder to you as well. If you're struggling with, a lifestyle you used to live or things you used to get into, habits, things like that, hope prayerfully that these words from the Psalms and Proverbs are a reminder to you and a lesson of what is to come, to fight, for the rewards, literally. Or if you don't, these are your words right here too. So, but yes, I hope you're all doing well and, staying safe. And I know there's a lot of people out and about, especially on Facebook. I'm not going to lie. I see a lot of people, they're not, I'll say, taking precautions. And with precautions, there's a lot of things you could do and that go under that. And I'm just gonna leave it there. To protect themselves and their loved ones. But I'm just gonna leave it there. But regardless, I hope you all doing well, regardless of who you are, where you are, and what you are doing, and stay safe. And stay frosty. All right, y'all take care now, and until tomorrow, see ya.